raised if they didn't sign it. Some people have said they didn't know they signed what they were signing. And so there's a question. That's why if I'm not right, then what happens? We need an investigation to get to the bottom of it. And that's what I'm calling for, a third party outside investigation. Hopefully by the Attorney General, hopefully by the Texas Rangers, to get to the bottom as to whether or not what I'm saying is true. I mean, that's we want to try to get to the truth.
Who would pay for that?
Huh?
Do you believe the investigation?
I'm not sure yet. I'm just asking them for it, and I'm hoping they'll come in and do that.
We're hearing questions concerning the application and that there was some information that was not truthful on the application for the position of police chief. Can you address that?
Say that again.
That there was some information omitted, that Mr. Pearson omitted information on the application during the process and applying for the chief's position. Is it?
There was a notation where he checked no, then he initialed it and checked yes. And that happens all the time. But see, I mean that's the point. Ask former Chief Hunter whether or not all of his application was correct. Ask the former police chiefs whether or not they have as much qualifications as Chief Pearson. Go back and check all that stuff. Ask them whether or not how did a investigation hired by a third party in Dallas, how was that and why was that leaked to the press? How did she know about? How did Mrs. Stewart know about it? So the whole point is,
open records, and it belongs to the citizens of Jasper.
no, it doesn't.
We are entitled to know if we can obtain it through open records.
If you could tell us, what do you think the underlying issue is concerning, you know, the
motive?
Yes.
The motive. If you will look at my statement, you will see this. It was a deal where Mike Lout got with Todd Hunter, and they were going to appoint their friend Gerald Hall to be police chief. There were some other friends within that group that were going to go up and go to be lieutenant, go be up and get promotions. You know, they cut this deal, and they think they're going to go over, and neither one of those gentlemen have the right to vote on the police chief. So they sent out emails, and that's why I attached the documents. Not me saying it, it's from the words of Todd Hunter himself, and in fact, I think Gerald Hall admitted that he was promised that job.
You need to listen to the recording of that video.
Okay, well, I've got
I'm sorry,
emails.
but...
No, he did not.
Let me show you. If you read this, let me read this to you. Well, here's yours, and I'll read mine.
Can I get a copy?
Okay.
How many do you have?
I have plenty. Now let me, and this is why I attached this, because it wouldn't be some lawyer up here babbling.
What page?
And if you go over to the first exhibit, it's dated 3/15/2011. It's got Judy Hall at the top, Todd Hunter. There's a little talk session. It's amazing what they put on Facebook. And it says, Todd Hunter. She's talking to Judy about how these people, how Councilman Nosworthy is basically a liar. And that's her opinion. That's fine. And I disagree with it, but that's fine. And it says, Todd Hunter, no need. I know the truth. I remember him, the mayor, and the mayor told Gerald he was going to get the interim. I didn't think I needed the campaign since it looked like it was a done deal, backroom deal. And in executive session, I told, didn't ask, Hunter tells the council, well, I've left everything I'm working on with Gerald, and he is ready to go. Problem is,
In other words, he had prepared him to take in the interim position.
the problem, and the point is that neither Todd Hunter or the mayor has the right by law or by statute to make that decision. And so what happened was, in terms of why are we here, that didn't happen. The mayor got embarrassed, so then he starts going, okay, now we're going to go investigate, we're going to do all this stuff, and we're going to start leaking stuff out, or whatever happened, and here we are, and we need to take depositions to find out what happened. But that's the motive. That's the motive. That what happened was there is a backroom deal cut by people who didn't have the vote, and when the city council didn't go along with them or submit to these people who didn't have the right to do it, they said, we're not going back to those days. We're staying right here, and we have a right. We're going to vote. We're going to vote the way we have, and we're going to do it. And that's what happened.
Did council meet before?
What's your name?
Did council meet
What's your name?
before?
What's your name?
Did council
Identify
meet?
yourself. I'm not going to answer your question.
I'm Craig Stewart, and I'm asking a question. I
Okay,
would
now
like to.
I'll answer it, Craig.
You haven't asked anybody else who their name is. Why ask me?
Because I know who they are, and you're somebody I wanted to let everybody know who you are.
Now, I would like to know, did 4 council members meet before hiring Rodney Pearson? Because they are the only 4 members that knew of Rodney Pearson going to be hired. So did they have a quorum before council?
I don't represent the city council. I represent
That's
the
what
chief.
this petition is about the council. It's not about Rodney Pearson, it's about the council.
Read the petition, and
It's in about hiring.
let me ask you something. Were you served with the 202 motion today? Were you served with it? Were you served with it?
What is that?
When the process server came up and handed you that document,
Nobody handed me anything.
did you throw it on the ground?
Nobody handed me anything.
Did you throw it in the ground? Okay.
No, I did not throw anything on the ground, and nobody's handed me anything.
Are you representing?
Well, I got something to say.
Okay, never mind. Wait a minute, hang on. This is Mike Getz.
I'm Mike Getz. I'm a city councilman from Beaumont. I'm an attorney from Beaumont. I have a little bit of familiarity with the process that the city council goes through. Police chiefs. As I understand it, we're not really clear about that. My question to you is, do you believe that the citizens of Jasper have the right, as provided in their city charter, to exercise the right to have recall petitions, provided that they get enough signatures and that there are enough ballot signatures? Do you believe they have the right to exercise their responsibilities as voters?
Did y'all hear the question? Yeah. Okay, the charter says that, and many people, a very good question. The charter says that any citizen can recall any of the members of the council. The problem is that, the way I interpret it and the way I think other people interpret it, it's a violation of the Voting Rights Act, that if you have single member districts, that those people have to vote, and there's all sorts of questions about the charter, because just because the charter says that, the charter of Jasper and other charters throughout the United States had all sorts of provisions about who could and who could not vote, at one point at a time. And so they had the Civil Rights Act, they had the Voting Acts right, they have all sorts of other problems and issues. So to answer your question, I personally think that the charter is that provision is unconstitutional, because what it does, Councilman, is that it allows somebody who cannot vote on a councilman in a single district to remove that. That's common sense to me, unfair. If I can't hire them, I can't fire them. That means that if they don't vote in that district for that councilman, they shouldn't be allowed to withdraw, because what happens? Wait a minute. Let me finish. Because what happens is it steals the vote. That robs the vote of the citizens who elected that particular councilman from their area. And so they elect that person, and then somebody over here who doesn't even live in that district, who can't even vote on him, is not going to say, I'm going to take that representative away from that voter. That's absolutely fundamentally constitutionally wrong.
Wait, okay, but this is your opinion. There has been no judicial determination made that the city charter is unconstitutional, but that's what you're alleging today.
That's what it's alleged.
I'm saying I believe it, but I said you don't have to believe me. What I want is the Justice Department and the Secretary of State to come in here and put it under scrutiny.
Because that city charter is identical to numerous city charters throughout the state of Texas. So you're basically saying all these city charters, like in Jacinto City, Beaumont, any place else that has city charters with similar language in it, you're saying they're all unconstitutional.
No, because some of those cities don't have single-member districts. There's a history here in Jasper. If you want to really get down to the facts of it, there's a history, and single-member districts were passed for a reason, to protect the voters of that particular district. And you cannot let somebody at large come back and vote on you. To me,
there's a history throughout Southeast Texas, but this isn't the 1940s, 50s anymore.
Thank you.
We're not going back there. That's my point. We're not going back there, because the charters in cities all over the South had all sorts of who could vote or who couldn't vote. And the charter said it And they said, well, these people can't vote. That group can't vote. This group can't vote. That group can't vote. You got to be white. You got to own property. You got to be male.
And there used to be a poll tax. And there used to be all kinds of
That's
laws.
right. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back.
I got a statement to make.
No. If you have a question,
Okay,
what's your name?
Be a question.
Okay, what's your name?
Vicky Adams.
Vicky
I want to
Adams.
know, all the time we've been living here, all the other center councilmen that been on board, they elected who they want to. So now, whoever they now is city councilman, they can't elect who they want to.
Sure
So I
they
feel
can.
like this just a,
Sure they can.
it's for no reason at all why we all out here now. Because all the time, when they voted for who they want to, just like you said, Todd Hunter, Stanley Chris, nobody never signed no petition for all this stuff to come and remove somebody off of the council seat. Why now?
Well,
That's right.
That's the question. We're going to
And
find that out.
that's
Thank you.
it.
Anybody else?
What did Pearson's one on this
Shit, I got her. No, he's over here. Oh, him?
I'm not going to do it.
No, he's fine.
Yeah, I know.
He's fine.
Well,
I think, let me tell you something. I know this is Mike Getz. He's an attorney from Beaumont. He's a good lawyer. He's a councilman from Beaumont. I know him. He has the right to be here and to ask whatever questions that he wants to ask. And I'm grateful that he showed up to ask questions. So that's who he is. Now, what was the
The
question?
question is, what do the Pearsons ultimately want on this? What are they fighting for? What do you
Okay. The question is, why are the Pearsons, what do the Pearsons want? What they've done, and I've said that in that statement, is for 6 months they sat there and endured false, malicious allegations in their community, and based on information that should never have been released, okay? And what they want is they want to find out whether or not the laws have been broken, and I'm here to go take the depositions, and Ms. Stewart will have a chance to talk, and Craig Stewart, wherever he was.
We're talking money, a number, or what?
We're investigating to see whether or not there's a lawsuit going to be filed. Part of this is also that we want, and I'm asking on behalf of the Pearson, and let me say this, I have instructed the chief and his family to go about their business. He has a position in this city as police chief, and he needs to conduct affairs as the police chief. I'm going to be handling the litigation or the possible litigation, and I've told him to refer any comments to me or to my son, Kay Pearson. I'm going to be addressing those issues. Same way with his wife, Sandra, and his son. Those are the people who are listed in the 202. What they want is they want justice. They want peace and they want tranquility in this community. And they waited for 6 months patiently, thinking that common sense, decency, civility, community spirit would prevail. Because as the lady said,